Yeah, I'd like to talk about some of the troubleshooting issues that we get into with running the AltFuel green conversion kits, and some of the phone calls that I take regularly from customers that have issues that they just can't figure out on their own. Most do, but some need help, and so we have a tech line that you can call, and I field many of those calls myself. And some of the questions are hard starting, lack of power in severe conditions, cold starting, and other issues similar to that. And so it's my job to tell the customer how to get over those problems. And so in the Research and Development Center, we try to duplicate some of the things that the customers tell us they're having. For instance, if you have a tank that's a vapor tank and it's turned the wrong direction, and you could actually do damage to your regulator. And so the tank has to be in the correct position, it has to be the correct tank, and it's got to be a vapor tank. We burn only vapors in our system, and so make sure that your tank supplier gives you the correct tank, and then you have it installed in the correct position for the application. And some of the calls that we get are hard starting. Well, to get through the hard starting issues, a lot of times it's usually overfueling. You're having the regulator dial actually turned open a little too far, and we're getting too much fuel in the starting mode. So we need to turn that dial down somewhere into the quarter turn to half a turn, and this is in all applications, from small engines, very small engines, 1 horse, all the way up to 40 horse. We need very little fuel to start these engines on LP gas, because LP gas is, of course, a much more potent fuel than the gasoline, so we need our air to fuel ratio needs to be a lot closerly pay attention to. And so we prime them very sparsely, and we keep that valve in the quarter to half turn for hard starting, and that usually cures that situation. Now, some of the other issues are lack of power, and when they turn the Mordex on, or they are chipper shredding, or they're running a generator, and they need to power the engine up, and that lack of power situation a lot of times has to do with lack of vacuum. The first thing I ask the customer to do, we'll check all the lines, make sure they're tight, and make sure that the fittings doesn't look like they're sweating or anything like that, and make sure that the lines are clear. A lot of times I'll ask the customer to actually take the hoses off and blow compressed air through the lines, make sure the lines are clear. We've had very few, but a few cases where orifices and things like that picked up a little bit of dirt, just like a normal carburetor would, and they need to be cleaned. It's rare, but it does happen, and those things need to be done. And so in that issue where you have a lack of power, sometimes it could be something as simple as putting a restrictor plate in the carburation area, where we're restricting the airflow through the carburetor, which creates more vacuum at the orifice and draws more fuel and air mixture in, and balances that airflow out. And also it helps our valve to work more efficiently when we have a restriction of air in that area. And then some of the other issues are, especially on the small machinery, maybe not revving up to speed. Well, there again, we go back to the maintenance issue. It might be an issue where you have a plugged air cleaner, or your spark plug is going bad. You know, address all those issues first before we actually look at the LP situation. And I think you'll find that usually there's a situation where it's the engine or the machinery, or there's something going bad on the machinery that's actually causing the lack of power. And that's just some of the ideas that we have that we can give to you. You can always call the tech line, and we will address those situations at that time.